Hi guys, today is July what? July what?
July
16, 2024. Husband wanted a how-to video and I was in the middle of painting. So I had to stop painting and set up all this fun stuff. Honestly, I don't even know if you'll see it, but we'll try. Let's see. Today is going to be drawing. It felt like it. I might do painting as well, just in case. I don't know. We'll see. I'm calling it blending. It's basically pencil and charcoal, but charcoal pencils. I will be going through two different ranges. There are B pencils. I'll put that right up to the camera. See the B? All right, see that pretty B down there? And there are, one second, H pencils. Now B, don't know what it stands for. Should look it up. I am an art teacher. I should know this by now. H is for when it's really hard. When you're shading and it's making it, and you need like very light shading and it doesn't need to be so dark, that's what you use it for. Use it for the details, for the subtle undertones. The B's are very dark. You can get shadow, like you can draw hair, you can draw ripples in clothing. It's all there. And then EE is super black charcoal. And I have one of those. And I even have a charcoal pencil. So this is charcoal pencil. Apparently, it didn't give a gradient. It usually gives a gradient. But see how black that is. That's how you know. We also have a ruler here, but I also use my little handy dandy little eraser. And here's my EE. It's broken, but it's all good. Here we go. There's the EE on the bottom. You can probably be backwards on the camera, but there you go, EE. It is very black and very dark. It is probably the darkest of them. So I will show you my setup. I personally love lead pencils. Yes, I modified mine. And I have 7 of these. I love them. I love them. I have a whole box sitting right here. And I love the smallest of them. And I actually kind of clogged it, so I can't even use it. But I will find a way to get the smallest of needle to get that thing to work again. Now, all right, here we'll get started. I will show you if I can. Bear with. Laugh at myself. Those are the tools. These are my lead pencils, my favorites. Here are this is from just B, 2B, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, HB is number 2 pencil. Does everything except for like a charcoal. 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B, EE, and then just a charcoal pencil. That's my eraser. And there's H, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what we're using today. And this, let's see if it works. I've been sitting here for 20 minutes trying to figure this out. Just trying to angle it so hopefully that angle stays. Yes? And you can see what I'm doing. Woohoo! Alright. Now, as you see, it's a B range. So B are basically considered more like the charcoals or the darker ones. They're not charcoal, but the darkest can look charcoal-y. So be very careful that you don't overshade with these. And the trick with these is you start, because I noticed here, I already did a pre-gradient just to start it with. You don't start at the light if you make these gradients from this one. You start from the dark and go down to the light. And just so you know, these little tissues here are to smudge. See, I already smudged. And when you do, you smudge them through, and that also shows a fade and allows for all the shading to blend together. This is purposely done so you can see the gradients, but you can actually blend them so they're perfectly blended. So here we go. We're going to start with my EE. It's the broken tip of it. And this one is EE. This is the sorry, it's a bit broken, but it's fun. I don't know if you can still see it. There it goes. EE. And this one is super dark. Actually, I'm actually very pleased with it. Now, because it's on an angle, my trick is I draw the back first here. fill this in as dark as you can, and then lighter here toward the middle of the box. See that middle of the box here? It's hard to see because the pencil's so dark. See that, like right there, my fingers? Towards the middle, you make it a little lighter, and then you fade it into it, and then you can just fill it to whatever tone you choose. You can be uniform. It doesn't have to be. This is a gradient after all. Now when you hit here, around here, the boundary, as you can see, but there's like a boundary right there between the two, I would carefully slightly overlap, just like that. See that? This subtle overlap right there? That's it. Don't do more. Okay, so I'll put you back, sorry. So now we have matching blacks, or the darkest, the charcoals. And this is in the B range, so it's the darkest that you can get. Now, we're gonna go to an 8. Now, if you make a mistake, that's why you have a ruler. So please, by no means, think everything's perfect. Now I'm going to bring it even closer. Again, hopefully. I am hoping this works with that thick hair. See? Fun when you don't have a real setup or a desk. Okay. Let's see. All right. Oh, I think that's pretty good. And there's my child. All right. Now, again, you can go angled, or you can go up and down, whatever you choose. Now remember, the 8B is not, we're in an 8 now. There it is. 8B is not as literally as charcoal loose or soft as the EE. So you can have the gradient as dark, but it's slightly lighter, if you can see very carefully there. See? Very light. Don't worry if you leave any light spots in between. Just, again, gentle shade over. There's the line. Gentle shade over. That's it. Make your life easy. Hopefully I don't drop something. I'm doing this backwards now. Okay, now we're on to the 6. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm holding it steady. That's cool. Now, 6 is here. So now we've only shaded a little bit over. So now we take from the little over and then we shade down. It doesn't mean you have to be perfectly black and darkest of it. No, you just want to get an idea of how to get a gradient. That's all we're doing, is a gradient of color. That's it. Ta-da! It is slightly lighter. Can you see now? It's not perfect, but it's a good start. I say start because we go over it. Go over it twice if you feel like it, because sometimes that's what you feel like doing. And here's a 5. Now 5, not every kit has a 5. I don't know, did I get it in the pit? There it is, 5B. 5, it's also very soft. So let's see. It's about, again, there, see? So now, again, it's just, you can already see, if you can look real close, I don't know if you get that close, but it's even slightly lighter than that, this 6B, even in a gentle sketch. That's it. Nothing fancy. Don't have to be fancy. And that's it. That's a 5. It's slightly lighter. Then you blend the boundary of the boundary, the 5 and the 6. Even if you put the 5 over the 6, you see it adds to it, and it just allows it to blend easier. You can always make it darker. Always work lighter first, especially with the bees. B pencils tend to get very dark very fast. Now, sorry about that. Let me, camera. Now the camera's having fun with me. All right. The angle of this thing is so hard now. All right. Where'd you go, camera? There it is. Oh boy. I wonder if I can get the. Oh man. Or see if I could do this and this at the same time. Now, 4, I would hesitate to go too dark whatsoever. Just notice I'm holding the pencil very loosey, loose like that. Imagine you can just almost drop it like a chopstick. Yep, just like that. Otherwise, your hand is way too tight. We're not doing detail work here. We're doing shadows. Shadows require your hand to be loose. See, I can even drop it if I needed it. That's it. Nothing too tight. Okay, so now that's 4. Nice and gentle. See how it just, if you feel like it again, go over the 5. And you see now you can re-blend your colors. You can kind of see the gradient happening. Okay, hopefully this doesn't move. Please don't move. I think it might hold. Yay! It might just hold. I might just be able to get the 3 in this one. Okay, now 3 is also very light as well. It can be light, can be dark, but it's not too dark. The darkest of the 3 will always be slightly lighter than the 4. How they make these pencils is actually amazing. I've seen it in videos and it blew my mind. I was so amazed. I loved it. I loved it. I love watching to see how things are made. Now what I'm doing is I'm going across the whole thing, even with the 3. Now you see what happens? It just fills it in. So now you can see the gradient even better. Now, after the 3 comes a 2. Now 2 is intended to be lighter. Oh, crack. My goodness. I hope you can see this. There we go. Now, super light. I'm barely touching the paper. See? It's so gentle. The last of the last is the bee itself. Okay. Now I'll turn it around. There it is. Now the bee is this, okay? And I hope you see this because I can't even see if I'm filming. There's my child. Now that's it. Now if you want a subtle difference between the bee and the 2B, that's it. And then if you want a subtle difference between the 2B and the 3B, there you go. And then you want a little more on the 4. And that's what I meant, where you do not have to make this exact or perfect. That's it. That's a gradient. That's shadows. That's how we create shade and blending. And they call it gradient, but I'm just not getting too fancy with y'all. And this part is the fun part. You can take a tissue of any kind, stick your finger, don't press too hard, and watch. The coolest part is this. If you start from the back, be very careful. It will blend into the light side because it already picked up that much. Now, so the trick really is you start from the bottom, ta-da, and you work your way up. Little circles all the way up. And that is a gradient. And that's done. That's B, oh, I can't see it now, B, 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B, 8B, and EE. Honestly, they're different levels for charcoal. This is not my favorite medium, but this is how we use a pencil, so it looks even like a charcoal. And in the bottom of this and the end of this, I will show an even easier way to do things. So I hope that was a little helpful. And back to my silly face. Okay, so that's 1. That's the B. Now, B. B works, that's my child. B works as a shadow, as really good shading. Now, when you want to do shading and you also want to create just gentle, light, delicate shadows, there's what we call an HB. Yeah, it's a regular pencil, but most art kits will have this. You don't need a fancy art kit. Just get your number 2 pencil. This is a number 2 pencil. This is what goes on standardized tests. This is it, number 2. And I did this as the first one on purpose, not after the 5H, for one reason. Because I wanted to show, see if I can get this angle right. Let's hope. Let's hope the angles are working for me. That might be easier actually today. Hold on. Okay, let's see. I'm moving it off one box to the next. Let's see. Actually, not too bad. You see that shiny one down here? No, you can't actually. You can't because it's not picking it up. Camera. Wow. Sorry, everyone. We're going to move it again because that is very strange. There. Oh, perfect. Now, this is 5H. Yeah? That's HB. This is a number 2 standard pencil. So when you use this one, I'm going to do it on a diagonal. See? That easy. I don't know if you can get it closer. Oh my goodness. This is not easy. It's on a pedestal. That's why it's really hard. But let's see if what if I hold it up? Yeah? Let's see if I can hold it up and draw at the same time. This will be funny. All right. See? I just drew it as dark as I can. But HB can get as light as any pencil you're going to see in the spectrum here. See, I've just blended it naturally. I'm not doing anything specific. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just changing the pressure of my hand as I'm drawing. See? And that just created a gradient within the HB itself. So if you want to make a darkest part of HB, here. Now I'm going to make it even go slightly lighter. Then slightly lighter. Well, yeah, a little lighter. And a little lighter. And that is right there is a gradient in itself with just one pencil. So this HB does everything. I've worn at least 5 of these down. I love these. But I love lead pencils for the same reason I could show in the end. Now, here's the fun part. H pencils are super, super hard. The graphite in here is exceptionally hard. So what it creates is this. Now, because they're light, you can start from 5H or you can just go really light from here. Because it's a lighter grade, it's best to start exceptionally light. Now, even in the light, you're thinking, she's not even drawing. Yeah, I am, but it's so subtle. It's intended to be. Now, do you see it? That's H. Simple and gentle. Now, 2H. That's my child having a dance party. See it, 2H down there. Is now, I'm going to try to get it into the camera, between the two again. It's just going up and down, side to side, in any direction you choose. And it's just slightly darker. You press a little bit and you can just see it's slightly darker. It's not overly dark. It's not overly light. It's just slightly darker. And when you hit the boundary, go over a tiny drop and then it will blend much easier. And there you go. You see the gradient starting so far. That simple. And 3H is this. Yes, that is. What did the fox say? My son loves it. Okay. Give me a second. For 1 second. Mommy, you may have to lower it because I don't want to get in trouble. Lower it, please. Thank you. That's better. That's why I won't get in trouble with YouTube. I think they say, like, you can't use a song or something. Okay. So I don't want them to get mad. So here we go. You see now, I'm just pressing a little harder. Now notice my finger, that a little, you saw my hand press down with this finger. True. This is this middle finger is pressing down just a little. And notice it's still like a chopstick. That's the beauty of when you're creating and you're shading. Keep it light enough in your hand that you don't have to be pressing down. See that? We're not doing that. We are just relaxing the hand, relaxing the fingers, and brushing the pencil literally like a paintbrush across the page. And that's it. And if you want to get it all in there, you can do crisscrosses. You can diagonal it across like that. I'm running out of pencil point. And then it fills it in more. And if you see how it already has a distinction, you do the little bit here and then that's it. And now you can see the gradation much better. You can see the 3 different shades now in a different light. Now we're on 4. Here's 4. 4. Now 4H does this. See, now I started over the edge a little, just a drop to blend, and now you can match. Because now you know what tone is slightly darker than the one before, and you match it. And then you go right across. Again, gentle. It's the pressure you put. This is loose. This is more pressure. This is loose. This is more. You'll feel it in your hands. And you just gentle draw it across. Now, if you don't want to see the lines, you can do like that. See, it's diagonal. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'm drawing fast because I want anyone watching this to see that you can do this any way you like. There are no mistakes in art. Only fun, happy, bless Bob Ross, happy mistakes. And those mistakes are not mistakes. They're actually, to me, inspirations to create more. Now you see by crisscrossing it, you can go the other direction as well. And see, now it balances. So now that looks more like a solid rectangle. Now you could see it is slowly getting darker. The last pencil is, sorry, making a mess, 5H. That's probably upside down. And then you go again, gently over the edge. And now match that tone on this side of the line. And again, like a chopstick. See? Gentle. Here, just like that. See how it just kind of wiggles in your fingers? That's the key to shading. Not too tight, not too loose, just right. Kind of like a Goldilocks thing. Now, if you want this darker than the 4, just for, you know, actual, I know my hand's shaking while holding it up. So now you can literally cross this way. And then cross that way. And it's done. But before you're actually done, again, you find a clean, not a dirty, but a clean spot on your napkin or your tissue. Literally, it's all it is. And you start with the light. Remember? Let's go to the lightest part of your page first. Go to the H, blend. Go to the 2H, because you've already had the H, so the 2H one doesn't matter if you do blend it from there, because it's just getting slightly darker. Then you go to the 3H, and then the 4H, and the 5H. And then you just do this with a very clean spot right across. And there's your gradation. Perfection? No. But however you choose to create it, you create it. And you can see the difference in tones. This may take practice, it may take time, but by all means, enjoy it. Now, again, I'm going to repeat, I love lead pencils. Just my thing. I have a holder plus one of those bandages around it, those rubber bandages. And this is the most comfortable. See, even this I can wiggle. Now, when we use a lead pencil, if you can see, no, it's not that close. Let's see if we can get even closer. There we go. See now, look how dark that got. Now look, here's a shade, and that gets even lighter. You're like, what? That doesn't look like anything. It's just a bunch of lines. Oops, sorry. It's a bunch of lines and weird shit. What are you doing there? Magic is this. See what I just did? That's shading. It's so simple. That's the shading. That's it. That's as easy as it gets. Now, you don't need to be fancy about it. Doesn't have to be amazing. Now I'm gonna add a little definition to this little shading. All right, a little line, another line, another line. Now I've outlined it. I have another really fun lead pencil, but this one is a bigger, it's wider. This one is a 0.2, it's a 2.0. That one is a 0.7. And this, you will start seeing the difference in a moment. Just because I added shape, you can see even from that distance to the camera, the shadows are just creating themselves. Lines can create shadow. And then you can gently, I really hope it can get in there. There, no. This stand is funny. There, I think that's it. Here we go. Do you see the subtle gradations? It doesn't, and then you can even define the darker part like that and leave the lighter. Anything could be done in a very simple way. Shading in art is very easy, but it takes practice because you can overshade. You can over make things dark. So I'm going to do it on purpose. Oops, made it too dark. Yeah? I'm going to hold the camera while I'm holding it. Here we go. Now you can come in with your eraser. This is a white eraser. And you can literally take it out. And now you have a better gradation in here. You have a better shadow comparison. And it helps with the composition. So if you wanted something this dark, like this, now you can take something like a charcoal pencil and watch. This is the oh, that's my hair, sorry. This is magic, watch. You have this, how dark it is? Watch, this is going to be black in a minute. This black will add, the pencil's not as good as the EV. I'm going to take the other one. Sorry, guys. I like this one better. The broken one. This thing is pure darkness. I just keep moving. It's on a pedestal, sorry. All right, here. Now you see the difference of the black here. It's as if you just took a fine liner and went right through your drawing. See that darkness all of a sudden? That is shading. It's so simple. You don't need anything, and then if you do this, you have to be very careful with the dark. Even the dark could be made into a beautiful light. You don't even have to use a pen. You can use your fingers. I love using my fingers. My hands are constantly dirty. Constantly dirty. And then you can even use the excess on your hand to spread it around the picture. And now it looks like it has its own shadow. So, to review, B is for dark shading, and it's a softer graphite, so it breaks easily when you sharpen it as well. And H is harder, and it's much better for details and lighter tones and easier shadows that are very delicate. And then if you just want to play, combine them all. Doesn't matter what you use or however you use it, but enjoy. And I hope that helped with the talking and the actual working together. If it worked, yay! I desperately need an art desk, but I also need the space for one. And it's not a one day, it will happen. It's just hasn't manifested yet, it's coming. So I hope that helped. And give you an idea, I have this box. I bought this box. I'm not gonna say the company, but I bought the box. Get tough in the mustache. And it has 3.3, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7. I think this is a 9 and a 2.0. And that means that's the size of the lead in which it holds. So for example, 2, if you could see it, now you can see that under the, yeah, that's a 2. 7, teeny tiny, see how small that is? The camera's barely picking it up, right? Now if I get any smaller, you're not gonna see it. So imagine what the 3 and the 5 are. So when you're playing with the 3 and the 5, and I kind of clogged up the 3, it's my favorite. It's so tiny, it's so beautiful. You get the tiniest of hairs and details, and the 5 is heavenly. So if you want super details, get a 0.5. If you want gorgeous tiny details, 0.3. If you want 0.7, the 7 one is the one that's most common, and it's also 5 and 7 are most common. 5 breaks more. 7 is that really nice happy medium of the in-between. And also they come in colors. If you can see here in the kit, it comes in different colors. So you can get kits. This was under $5 to $10 for me, literally. And I cannot spend a lot of money on my things. These are erasers that go inside the pens. Let's see if I could show you one. Okay. And in the pen, on the top of the pen, is an eraser. And that's where there's the refills for those. So you can get things like this, not expensive, easy starter kit. You can just get a regular one from just the supermarket and just get a lead pencil. Regular plastic lead pencil. The metal ones work better because they have the better tips to hold the lead so they don't shake or break or, you know, move too much on the inside. But this is what I use all the time. All the time. It's my favorite tool. If it gives an idea, and I found these, they're great. Any stationery, wherever. What it is this part is the eraser. It's that really good white eraser. So you can get a big chunky one. That's on the end of this. Love that. Sorry for the name. Didn't mean to promote a company or not. Here we go. There you go. But, because I found that sharpener. So always have one of these white erasers, and I don't have my kneadable eraser right now in front of me, which is one of my favorites. It's a blue, it's a light kind of tealy blue one, and you literally knead it like dough. It's fantastic, and that clears colors and takes color off of shading completely. That's one of the best tools to use. It's called a kneadable eraser. So if these little tips help, I hope they do. I hope that made sense. Sorry for the angles. I'm on a tripod thing and it's not really working with me. But these are the ways you can use. So this is one set. You don't need a set. If you get a good set pens, some H's, get a HB. It's easiest for all of them. If you really want to work super light and get really fancy, you can get yourself a set of pencils. They're not expensive. Most starter kits have them. And always have a teeny ruler with you. I have a bunch of rulers with me all the time. That always helps. And if you like, these I like more. There are different styles of charcoal that come in pencils. See, that comes with wood. That's a solid graphite pencil. It's called woodless graphite itself. See, it says it on there. These two are two different styles. So if you don't want to sharpen, you can still sharpen if you want, but you don't have to. You can get the woodless ones, and your hands don't get dirty. See? Oh, the way his hand's clean. It's coated on the outside. So you can use these, and they just, when they're done, they're done. It's more, I think it's more, universally useful and better for the environment. You don't kill a tree just to stick the graphite in there. So that's just suggestion. Whatever you like, you do. I hope that helped. This was long. I'm sorry. I had a feeling it would be, but I hope that was informative. I hope you enjoy it. If you have to stop it at some point and start it and then look again and then try again, do that, because I taught myself to draw. I did have art class. I went to school, yes, but I also went to art school, and I went to the art high school in New York. So one of the known ones. So if that helps, just so keep in mind, have fun. Do not be serious. Do not be specific if you don't want. Play around, just enjoy it. And then until you get a handle on how you want to create something, that's what you'll do. If you don't want to learn details right away, don't. If you want to learn how to just make shadows for the sake of making shadows and gradients and different, levels of shade, look at light and how it touches a wall, and how the shadows around it work, where the boundaries are, if there really is one. Hint, hint, there really isn't. But because we and our eyes want a definitive boundary and a line, and we feel that we need to identify something begins and something ends, that's why we create lines. So you can create lines, but it doesn't need to be there. You can make the most blurred boundaries, and even those are most beautiful. So just play with it, have fun with it, and eventually you will find your own groove, your own happy place with whatever you're creating. And please let it come from the heart. And don't be too serious about it. It's not worth it. This is supposed to be fun. Trust me. So thank you very much for joining me today. And I'll leave this up if you want to see. I could take a screenshot. I've seen people do this before, so I'll hold it up like this. I hope that'll do it. And I'll hold it up a little longer. If you want to take a screenshot, this way you can take an idea of how it could shake. Listen, it's not even perfect how I did it, but then again, what did I say? Perfection's not perfect. It's not supposed to be that way. You decide how you want to create. You decide what you want. So please enjoy. And especially when you're creating. Thank you for joining me. Sorry if it took too long. But I knew it'd be babbling when it came to art. So thank you for watching my how-to in art, in shading and blending, pencil and charcoal. Namaste.